Plastic plays an important role in modern life due to their convenience and widespread use. However, improper disposal and environmental exposure cause plastic to fragment into extremely small particles called microplastics. So, what is the cause and mechanisms behind microplastic formation, the impact of plastic pollution, and also the awareness in addressing plastic pollution?
Assalamualaikum and greetings to everyone. My name is Nur Fazila binti Azman, reporting. For today's video, me and my teammates will be discussing about a global issue which is plastic pollution and microplastic. Plastic pollution has become one of the most serious environmental challenge of our time. Every year, plastic causes long-term damage to ecosystem and wildlife. What makes this more concerning is the presence of microplastic, which is tiny particles that are often invisible in human eye but are now everywhere. This issue is highly relevant for today because plastic has deeply embedded to our life, from packaging and household products to medical and industrial uses. This shows that plastic is unavoidable. Plastics, in particular, pose potential risk to human health as they can enter food chain and accumulate in the body over time. This is a serious global issue because this requires immediate attention. In the next segment, me and my teammates will be discussing more about this issue.
In Malaysia, plastic is everywhere. Plastic come from plastic bags, bottles, straw, and food packaging. Plastic is useful and convenient, but it's also massive pollution problem. A large amount of plastic waste are not properly managed by us and end up it's in the river, drains, and the ocean. Wildlife is trapped by plastic waste. And animal creatures eat microplastic. Malaysia is one of the highest plastic users in Southeast Asia. Plastic has become such a big part in our life that we use it every single day without thinking. When plastic waste enter the environment, it doesn't disappear, and as a result, plastic pollution has become one of the serious environmental issues today. Unlike an organic waste, plastic doesn't decompose naturally. Instead of breaking down completely, plastic slowly became into small pieces due to the sunlight and physical forces. Tiny pieces of plastic are called microplastic, which are plastic particles smaller, less than 5 mm in size.
There are two types of microplastics. The first one is primary microplastics. Primary microplastics are manufactured in small size such as from cosmetics and personal care products. For the second one is secondary microplastic. Secondary microplastics are generated through the physical, chemical and biological breakdown of larger plastics products into smaller pieces, which is water bottles, plastic bags, road paint and synthetic fabric. These microplastics are now widely found in Malaysia, rivers, beaches and marine sediments.
These are dangerous because it can be ingested by marine life and another animals, and it's also affecting human health. Microplastic has been found in drinking water and the air we breathe.
Plastic and microplastic pollution is mainly caused by human activities and poor waste management. One major cause is the excessive use of single-use plastics such as plastic bags, bottles, straw, and food packaging. These items are used for a short time, but it takes hundreds of years to decompose. Improper disposal of plastic waste, including littering and illegal dumping, allows plastic to enter rivers, sea, and soil, where they break down into microplastic. Another cause is the breakdown of larger plastic products due to sunlight, heat, and physical forces like wave. This process, called fragmentation. Fragmentation turns plastic waste into tiny microplastic particles. Industrial activities also contribute, especially through the release of plastic pellets, synthetic fiber from textile during washing, and microbeads from personal care products such as scrubs and toothpaste. The next cause is poor recycling system cause plastic and microplastic pollution because many places do not have enough recycling facilities and people do not separate their waste properly. When plastic are mixed with other rubbish, they are often thrown into landfill or left in the environment instead of being recycled. Some plastics are also difficult or expensive to recycle, so they are simply discarded. The last one is lack of environmental awareness. Many people are unaware of the long-term effect of plastic and microplastic pollution on ecosystem, wildlife, and human health. Without strict law, proper education, and sustainable alternative, plastic pollution continues to increase globally. One of the mechanisms is developmental toxicity. Microplastic can affect growth and development, especially in early life stages such as larvae, causing deformities and delayed growth. Another mechanism is photodegradation. When plastic is exposed to sunlight, ultraviolet rays break its chemical bonds, making it brittle, and it will cause to fragment into microplastic. Plastic also releases harmful chemicals over time. This is called chemical leaching, which can contaminate water and soil and disrupt hormones in living organisms. Lastly, ingestion and false satiation occur when animal takes microplastic for food. These plastics fill their digestive system, causing malnutrition and increased risk of death.
Today, plastic pollution and microplastic have become a serious global problem. Every year, millions of tons of plastic waste are produced and a large amount ends up in rivers, beaches, and the ocean. Over time, sunlight, waves, and friction break plastic into very small pieces called microplastic. These pieces are so small that sometimes we cannot see them with our eyes. There are many various impacts on this situation. Firstly, impact on marine life. This problem has a big impact on marine animals. Many fish, turtles, and seabirds mistake plastic for food. When they eat plastic, their stomach can become blocked, making it hard for them to eat real food. There have been cases where big animals were found with their stomach full of plastic pieces. Microplastic can also absorb harmful chemicals from the water. When marine animals eat microplastic, these chemicals can enter their bodies and move up to the food chains, eventually reaching humans. Secondly, impact on humans. Microplastics are not only in the ocean, they are now in our daily life. Studies have found microplastic in drinking water, sea salt, seafood, and even in the air we breathe. Recently, researchers found microplastic in human blood and lung tissue. The long-term health effects are still being studied, but scientists worry that microplastic may cause inflammation, stress to cells, or other health problems. Thirdly, environmental and social impact. Plastic takes a very long time to break down, sometimes hundreds of years. This means plastic waste will continue to build up if we do not take action. Countries with weak waste management systems are especially affected because plastic collects in rivers and eventually reach the ocean. Plastic population creates economic problems. Tourist areas with dirty beaches can lose visitors, and fishermen can suffer when fish population decrease or become contaminated. So, this issue is not only about the environment, but also about society and economy. Another major impact of plastic population is contribution to climate change. The production, transportation, and disposal of plastic rely heavily on fossil fuels, which release significant amount of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. In addition, when plastic break down in the environment, they release carbon and other pollutants that further contribute to global warming. This intensifies the effect of climate change, such as rising sea levels, extreme weather events, and ecosystem disruption, putting additional pressure on both natural habitats and human communities worldwide. In short, plastic and microplastic are now everywhere, like in the environment, in animals, in food, and even in humans. If no action is taken, the problem will continue to grow and may affect future generations.
Hi everyone. Previously, my friend has explained about the current issues and the impacts in plastic pollution and microplastic. And now it's my turn to explain about the awareness in order to reduce the plastic pollution. Plastic pollution is one of the most pressing environmental challenges of our time. Every year, millions of tons of plastic waste end up in the river, oceans, on land that can harm the wildlife and also the ecosystem. Because plastic takes years to break down, so it impacts last for generations. Plastic pollution awareness is essential in protecting the environment and future generations. First, spreading awareness through education helps people understand the causes, impacts, and long-term consequences of plastic pollution. This can be achieved through school programs, community activities, and school media platforms that provide information and encourage responsible environmental behavior from a young age. Second, promoting practical solutions encourages individuals to adopt simple yet effective daily actions such as using reusable bottles and tumblers, bringing personal shopping bags, and consciously reducing plastic consumption. These small lifestyle changes, when practiced consistently, can significantly reduce plastic waste and inspire others in the community to follow the suit. Lastly, supporting environmental organizations strengthens collective efforts to combat plastic pollution. By participating in awareness campaigns, clean-up activities, and collaboration with organizations dedicated to environmental protection, communities can actively contribute to cleaner surroundings while reinforcing the importance of shared responsibility in preserving the environment.
So now, to conclude all of this issue, plastic pollution and microplastic are no longer distant or invisible environmental issue. In Malaysia today, microplastic can be found in our rivers, ocean, soil, seafood, drinking water, and even in the air we breathe. This clearly shows that the plastic pollution has become a serious and widespread problem that affects both the environment and human health. Malaysia's rapid development and lifestyle changes have led to high plastic consumption, especially single-use plastic, such as plastic bag, food containers, and packaging. When plastic waste is not managed properly, it breaks down into microplastic that persist in the environment for hundreds of years. These tiny particles are easily ingested by marine organisms, enter the food chain, and eventually reach humans. Although government policies, recycling programs, and clean-up campaigns are important steps forward, they alone are not sufficient. Real change requires a strong public awareness and collective responsibility. Every individual plays a role in reducing plastic pollution through a daily choice and habits. The key takeaway is simple but powerful. Plastic pollution is caused by human behavior and therefore it can be reduced through a human action. By reducing a single-use plastic, practicing proper waste segregation, choosing a reusable alternative, and supporting sustainable initiatives, we can significantly reduce the amount of plastic entering our environment. In the long run, addressing plastic pollution and microplastic is not only about protecting Malaysia's natural beauty and marine biodiversity, but also about safeguarding public health and ensuring a sustainable future for the next generation. Small action, but when multiplied by millions of people, can create a meaningful and lasting changes. Last word from me is protect our environment, protect our future. Thank you.